So Nick Saban turns down a prospect for his NIL request.
Turn out 2.
Go ahead, get into it, Fishing.
So, I'm a name drop here of these players. Some people don't like to do that.
No, I'll do it.
So, and this is what's pretty much assumed. I mean, it's damn near fact. But so Javian Cohen was an O lineman on the team. He pretty much went up to Saban and said, "I want $500K, get my sister into law school." Saban told him to kick rocks. Carmine McLean, y'all remember that name?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I want $800K from Nick Saban." Saban told him to kick rocks. What he really told him is to go find somewhere else that's going to pay you that money, and so they did. Right. So, but it's just what it says about Nick Saban and his recruiting philosophy right now, especially with the NIL in effect and trying to keep his culture, the culture intact. And that's really what it shows to me.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, man. Coach, what you think about that, man?
Hey, Fisher said it out. Basically, Nick Saban and booted them away and ran them off. And it just shows you about his recruiting process and how you value. Nick Saban's still gonna be good. The Alabama Crimson Tide still gonna be competitive no matter what players he put out there on the field. He's definitely gonna be competitive. But the Bluetooth players are out of the way.
Oh, that's great.
But bro, it's like I think from his standpoint, it's like, do you really like football or not?
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that outside stuff. Like, if you're good, I think him or somebody else had said this. Maybe it was Jimbo. They were like, if you're good, the NIL money's going to be flooding towards you.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you perform on the field and worry about the money later? See, this is the whole thing that's just, I love college football, man. I used to love it more before all of this.
Same.
Because the players had something to play for. Now they're just going to schools that, I want to get my sister through law school. They ain't got nothing to do with us. We gave you the opportunity, not her.
Exactly.
Regardless of what you want to do, why don't you go down on the field and perform? Because if Carmine McLean sucks, do you think Deion's gonna deal with that? No. He ain't gonna be starting. He gonna be owing people money because people gonna feel like they got robbed.
Yeah.
Hey man, more money, more problems, bro. Do you think that all money that comes out of these NIL deals is the cleanest money in the world? No.
Of course not.
No.
Hey, what you think? What you think, man?
I like Nick Saban for this. Basically saying, hey,
I do too.
I don't care about that. I just want you to play football. If you're not here to play football, I don't want you here. That's what it shows to me, and I like that. Because that's how it should be. It shouldn't be about getting money in college football. That comes once you go to the NFL. Really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I like this whole philosophy from Nick Saban. I commend him. Keep and it keeps bad apples out of your team too, which I don't think people are fully comprehending.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps the bad apples off your team that are just there for monetary value instead of winning championships, which this is what it's known for. And also, he's not going to want to water down his locker room by bringing in a person like that either, because it just destroys the culture of your football team.
Yeah.
Why would they go out and recruit all these players over and over and over again just to have somebody come in and ruin everything? It takes one person. We saw it. Perfect example. Now that hindsight is 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at what happened at Arizona State. Jaden Daniels transferred to LSU. Outperformed everybody's expectations with Brian Kelly. Got them almost a college football playoff bid if they would have continued to play. Like, literally, the committee had them propped up. If you would have won out, they would have got in, right? And we all thought that was bullcrap, but it just is what it is. We don't control that, so you have to look at it for what it is. Do y'all remember what Jaden Daniels had to go through before he left? They were trashing his locker. They were doing all this stuff. Now, the question got asked, was Jaden a bad teammate, or was he getting away from a toxic environment? And they were just showing their true colors. It seems like Jaden was getting away from a toxic environment, and that team was showing their true colors. Arizona State was trash. From their coaching staff all the way down. Had us all hyped up. Because Herman Edwards was going out there. He brought all these coaches with him. We thought they was going to be... And I don't think it was the coaches. I just think it was the players. And then you add NIL, sprinkle that on top of it. Yeah, boy. Mm-hmm. It's a cake that's baked for disaster. That's what we're going to say that. A cake that's baked for disaster. So,
yeah. And I think, just going back to it, that's the most important thing about coaching. And it's the hardest thing to do, especially with the NIL, is establishing culture in the locker room and having people respect and want to play the game. And so, I think Nick Saban's approach is when people come up and ask him for money, he tells them, well, if that's the first thing you're going to ask me, then you can go kick rocks.
Yep.
But if you want to come here, establish yourself and work hard, the money's going to come to you, like you said, and you're going to make millions of dollars. Look what Bryce Young did. Bryce Young, he didn't go ahead and pay millions of dollars for Bryce Young. Granted, it was a different time period then, but that's what Nick Saban's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to tell these kids to come in, work hard, buy in. Money's going to come. We're the University of Alabama. We're going to win championships. And he can say that because he's Nick Saban. So
he's probably going to say this: work hard, don't be a distraction for your team, and get through school, get to class. Mm-hmm. It's probably his philosophy every single day. And Bryce Young was the first known in the media, the first known millionaire when the NIL came out. Nick Saban came out himself and said he's probably made over $1 million at this point. And he did it the right way. They flocked to him. And he kept his mouth shut. Dude's been a quiet dude the whole time. Dude's a humble teammate. Went out there, played his ass off this year.